Hello and welcome back to Justin Talks Villa. Thank you for joining me once again on this journey through a season with Aston Villa. We now turn our attentions after the narrow, hard-fought 1-0 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home on Sunday to a really tricky tie now away on the south coast, away to a really good Brighton team, to be honest, a very good Brighton team under the stewardship of Fabian Hürzeler, who took the job 18 months ago from Roberto De Zerbi, who also did a fantastic job. And I sort of put Brighton in the same mould as Brentford and Bournemouth, who are similar-sized clubs doing really good things in the Premier League. And it doesn't matter what managers they lose, they seem to find these new, young, really good managers. I mean, Hürzeler was the youngest manager ever to be appointed in the Premier League when he took the reins at Brighton. So that's fantastic. Finished 8th last season and they are currently 5th this season. They are a good team. We know that. You know, won 2-0 away at Forest last time out, which is a really good result. How do they play? Very similar to Villa, to be honest. They play two holding midfielders, fullbacks that like to get forward, and a front four, almost playing 4-2-4 at times, where the number 10 and the two wide players make up a front four. Standout player this season, it's got to be Danny Welbeck with 7 goals so far. So he's the one to really look out for. Generally does quite well against the Villa as well, so we need to keep an eye on him. They love to draw teams onto them. Again, very similar to how Villa do. Slow build-up play from the back. Try and get the opposition to push really high up, then break through the lines and use the width and the quality in the final third to take advantage and win games. So this season, they are currently 5th, as I say, 22 points, 21 goals for, 16 against. Villa, 4th, one position above them, 24 points. We've got 16 for and 11 against our second. We are now the second best defensive team in the Premier League, which if you'd said that last season, you'd have probably said no chance. But defensively, we have tightened up an absolute treat this year. And that's down to, I think, the back four who are very settled now. Cash, Considine and Pau, which is pretty much universally known as our strongest back four currently. Last 10 games, all competitions. Brighton, 1-6, 2 losses, 2 draws. Villa, 1-8, as we know, 2 losses and no draws. So we are in fantastic form. And we go there in really good spirits, I think. You know, this week is a difficult week. Brighton and then Arsenal to come at home. Two real tests of where we find ourselves currently. But we're in a good position and a good mindset to attack both of these games. Expected points. You know I like this stat. Brighton are expected points are 19.26. They are actually on 22. So they are slightly outperforming where their expected points are. If you're new to this, then that's expected points is based on the chances you create, how many points you should be on at this time of the season. Villa, as we know, if you are repeatedly coming back to this channel, will know we are massively outperforming our expected points. Currently, it's at 13.5. We are on 24 points, and that's mainly down to the fact that we don't create loads of really good chances. We are taking a lot of really tough chances. I think 9 of our goals this season in the Premier League at 16 goals, are from outside the box. Sky have finally picked up on this and realising that we just take our chances. You know, it's incredible. But if you don't, you know, buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery, do you? So that's obviously very important to Villa to meet, and we've got the quality of player that can do this. For best performing players for Brighton this season, Jean-Paul Van Heckel, defender, and Verbruggen, the goalkeeper. As I said earlier, Danny Welbeck is their top scorer with 7 goals. They're averaging about 49% possession, so roughly about where Villa are, with slightly above that. The control zones that they like to work in are in their own half, centre of the pitch from the penalty box up to the halfway line. They are very comfortable in possession there, and then they try and exploit, obviously, teams in the final third with quick breaks and playing through the lines. So where do I think Villa's team will be? This is the big question. Will we rotate? I think so, because we've got a really tough game on Saturday. What do we want from this game against Brighton? We need a solid midfield. That's where I'm at with this. We've seen Emi Buendia's form drop a little bit recently, so I think there's a potential there to change the 10, to go stronger in the midfield, to keep the quality out wide and interesting where I think we'll be with the centre forward. So this is how I would line up on Wednesday night. Back five, as I said earlier, pretty much picks itself. Emi Martinez in goal, Matty Cash right back. We go with Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa central defence, and with finishing with Luca Dean retaining at left back. Right, midfield double pivot is where I think there'll be, I potentially think there could be a change. So Boubacar Kamara obviously retains his place. I think this could be a game to bring back Amadou Onana to partner Boubacar Kamara to give us that solidity and that extra bit of strength in the midfield. That doesn't mean I'm leaving Yuri Tielemans out, who is obviously a world-class player. We could see the return a little bit to the box midfield that we saw very good last season and the season before. So potentially we could see Yuri Tielemans pushed into the 8/10 role, slightly further forward. The other option there is retain Yuri Tielemans in the double pivot and maybe bring Ross Barkley in, but obviously he's got an injury, so I don't know how bad that is. So that's why I'm thinking it could be time to maybe push Tielemans slightly further forward into that position. John McGinn, I think, pretty much has made that right-hand side role his own and plays in all the big games, so I think he stays there. Morgan Rogers obviously plays off the left. He's doing really well recently. And the big question up top is Marlon or Watkins. I'm going to bring Ollie Watkins back in because I think it gives us that option, that outlet, that ability to stretch the play. I think he runs the channels really well. He runs the lines really well. He needs a bit of luck, I think. And we saw that with Marlon starting against Wolves. Didn't have the service again. We were back to how we were at the start of the season with lack of service, which doesn't impact on how good Marlon was. It's just that he didn't get the service and we're not creating the chances for him. So Ollie Watkins for me comes back in up top. And hopefully that would give us that real solidity, that strength in the middle. The back five, as we know, are very good. That double pivot, Kamara and Onana, I think is very strong. And then the three in behind Ollie Watkins would be Rogers, Tielemans and McGinn. Arguably, that's probably our strongest team currently, I think. And we need to go strong against Brighton. Prediction. Oh, tough one. As it stands right now, I would love to come away with at least a point. I think we're more than capable of going there and getting a point. If we can get 4 points from the next 2 games, I think that's a really good return and keeps us where we are in the league. A win would be magnificent, and I'm not ruling a win out. I think we could get a win there. There's definitely no question about that. We are good enough. It's going to be a very, very tough game. It's going to be a big ask. It's going to be a huge effort on the lads' behalf. We can't have any mistakes. We know that. No mistakes whatsoever. We've got to be almost perfect, and we've got to take our chances. It would be nice and lovely to start creating some real gilt-edged chances. I'm not saying walk it into the net. What I'm saying is crosses into the box, you know, from corners, set pieces. We just need to start creating a better amount of quality chances, not always relying on the banger, the long ranger, the free kick goal. That's where I'm at now. So, prediction. Surprisingly, I'm going to sit a little bit on the fence here. I hope we can win. I think we could win. But I'm going for a 2-2 draw away at Brighton. And I think we'll beat Arsenal on Saturday. There's a little hint for the Arsenal preview. So, there we go. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't, please do. Drop a video a like and get involved in the comment section. What do you think about my team selection? What would yours be? Hopefully we can get a really positive result and continue our fantastic season. The overlap episode is out soon. I'll drop a link into some of my social channels if you haven't followed me already. On Instagram, X, all the others, Justin Talks Villa. Thanks very much and speak to you all soon. Up the Villa!